Let me tell you something that you already know. You're not perfect. Think about it for a second. What are your limiting factors? What are the things that are wrong with you that are holding you back from achieving what you would like to achieve? Got that in your mind? I'm sure you do. Some of you may think that you're overweight. Some of you may think that you're not tall enough, or strong enough, or smart enough, or creative enough, or have enough determination, or enough resolve. Some of you have physical limitations that are obvious to everyone else around you. But here's the thing. Your limitations are just the context for the great story that is who you are, right? It is the thing that makes you different. It is the thing that makes what you are about to accomplish in your life all the more impressive and inspiring for someone else who will listen to your story. You see, there aren't perfect people, and so there aren't people who can just breeze through and accomplish whatever they want. People who accomplish things do so in spite of their limitations. And I would suggest that people who accomplish things oftentimes, maybe most of the time, accomplish things because of their limitations. So I'm personally not very tall. I'm 5'7", right? So I'm a little short. As a kid, I was always short, but that never bothered me. And here's why. My dad is 5 foot and 1/2 inch. Now, he would always make sure to let everybody know about that 1/2 inch, and he was always really proud of that 1/2 inch. But he was, so as short as I was, he was really short. And it was nothing that he ever allowed to get in his way or to stop him, and in fact, he only used it to fuel him. He was a really good amateur golfer. And as a matter of fact, he won the club championship at his club back in 1982. Even as somebody as short as himself, he was able to play the game at a very high level, even though he had, some limitations because of his height. One particular opponent that he had was a guy named Tom Appleman, and Tom was the greatest guy you'd ever want to meet. Super nice guy. He didn't practice real hard. He didn't have to. He had natural talent, and all the guys used to comment, Tom can roll out of bed and shoot 69. But even more so, what was different between Tom and my dad was Tom was about 6'6". My dad 5 foot and 1/2 inch. So there's about 1.5 foot difference between the two. Whenever they would play, my dad would absolutely use his height disadvantage to his advantage. You see, anytime a big guy is competing against a little guy, the little guy has got nothing to lose. The big guy has everything to lose. You can't lose to somebody that much smaller than you, or at least that's how you feel, and so the pressure is all on you. My dad knew that, and so he would use that. And they'd get up on the first tee, and they'd get ready to play. Right away, my dad would pull a club out of the bag, and then he would turn it into a pretend axe, and he would start acting like he was going to chop down Tom's legs. Chopping down the apple tree, he used to say. And this was a good-natured, lighthearted, fun little thing. But it just added to the pressure that Tom must have felt to beat my dad. Now, Tom was a great player. My dad was a good player. Lots of times Tom still beat my dad. But lots of times my dad beat him. And I assure you that my dad never one time ever went into it thinking, man, I can't beat Tom because he's so much bigger than me. He just has too great an advantage and I can't overcome it. Those things never crossed his mind. He always wanted to use it to his advantage. And he taught me from a very, very young age to not just try to overcome the fact that I wasn't necessarily big in whatever sport I might be wanting to play, but to actually embrace it. And I did. I learned to love being short, and I learned to love it for the same reasons as my dad. And I knew that, if I accomplished something, people would look at that as special. Again, it was context for my story. So whatever your limitation might be, whether it's your height or your weight or your perceived intelligence, whatever it may be, whatever the expectations are of you that have been reduced because of this limitation, either the expectations that you put on yourself or the expectations that somebody else may put on you, use that to your advantage. But the bigger point is that regardless of what these perceived and so-called limitations might be, they exist only in your mind. You can use them however you want, positive or negative. It's up to you. So tell me, what is your unlimiting factor?